stress puppy. These days, everybody's talking about how bad stress is for our health. So today, what you can do to decrease your stress and manage this age of anxiety.
Barb Bartlein is the people pro, and she's an author, a public speaker, and a registered nurse. Barb, I confess, I took the test, answered yes to the first 10.
Yeah.
Which are, do you feel like what you accomplish is never quite good enough? Yes.
Yes.
Do you feel like you must give more than 100% or you failed?
Yes.
Do you get anxious about work the day before? Yesterday I was like, oh, my stomach is hurting. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have gastrointestinal problems as a result about thinking about things too much. I mean, and what's scary is our children these days are more stressed out, I think, than ever before. As adults we are, and I think kids are in the same boat.
Absolutely. I call it the age of anxiety, the dawning of the age of anxiety. People are more stressed out now than any time in history. There's a study that just was released, it's kind of interesting, that the typical person now has a level of anxiety that's consistent with hospitalized patients in the 50s.
No way.
Yeah. Now, why are we so anxious?
Why are we?
We're overscheduled, I'm going to bet. That's
Overscheduled.
Can I meet all the expectations of the day? You have to eat your sandwich, we got to go. We got to be at tennis in 5 minutes.
Well, and I think both of you are a good example. You both have 3 kids. You know, it used to be a woman would stay home and you cook dinner and do that. Now you have to be a career woman. You have to be an expert on child psychology. You have to be an expert on everything. Plus, you know what? The media gives us access to more anxiety than we ever dreamed of.
I agree with that.
Years ago, if there was a shooting somewhere, you might not even hear about it. Now you not only hear about it, you often see footage of it, or you see footage of airliners going into buildings. Everybody's anxious. A question for you. Do you even know what those...
Question for Amy.
Amy, what my kids' names are? No.
But Amy,
whatever your name is.
Do you even know what the codes are for the airlines when they say the threat has been increased?
Red or orange.
Red or orange.
Yeah.
Who knows what that even means?
Yeah, well, red is bad. I got that one.
Red is bad? I don't know. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to throw away my shampoo? Well, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're not really safe anymore. I think that's, you know,
throw
that's
away my
anxiety.
shampoo? I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, and then they say report something suspicious. I don't know what's suspicious. Why am I in charge of Homeland Security? When did I volunteer for that role?
Well, it has impacted all of us.
Yeah.
Like I was telling our producer about a lockdown at school, you know, and it was a accidental pull of an alarm, but it put the whole school into a panic. But it gave them a great opportunity to run through things. But this is what you live with. This is what we all live with now.
Exactly. And I think it's raised the level of anxiety that a lot of us have turned into stress puppies and into people that are anxious all the time.
What's the, you know, because I mean, Dr. Oz talks about this too. What's the effect on our health? Because the thing is, chronic, low level of stress is worse for us than the occasional, like, something happened. It's that chronic low level stress that's literally killing us.
Shorten your life, right?
Absolutely, because you're constantly in the fight or flight response. So you're pumping out adrenaline, you're pumping out endorphins, you're pumping out things to be ready to fight or flight. But who are you going to fight with?
Cortisol,
your boss?
Right?
Yeah, cortisol is washing over your brain. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
What can we do to make things better, Barb?
Well, for one thing, I think get a perspective. Get a perspective. There's a whole lot of things that happen that we can't do anything about. And I think we have to be careful of what I call urgency addiction, which is just going around all day putting out fires and everything's ASAP, everything's an emergency.
I think that's almost everyone I know.
Exactly.
I mean, it may be a symptom of having worked in the news business, but I mean, how many moms are constantly, I got to answer this text right now, or something's going to happen if I don't answer now? It's not going to.
Right, exactly. Put it in perspective and not get so riled up about everything, and also make sure other people aren't creating emergencies for you.
Yes.
You know?
And like your kids included.
Like your kids, yes.
You know, one of the things I was thinking about when I was thinking, what can you really do? You can meditate. I think exercise is good. I know you believe strongly in exercise. I've done some exercise classes with you. Get up a little earlier. Give yourself a little quiet time in the morning. I think is good. But one of the things I was thinking about, and I was thinking about with Amy and me, I was thinking, give the women in particular in your life permission. Like, let's say you have to bring treats for school. So I say to Amy, just buy cookies.
Seriously.
Don't make the cookies and
right.
frost them, and lower expectations and give people permission to, if they're not feeling well, call in sick for work and don't feel bad about it.
I think
don't put the pressure on yourself, and give,
right.
as friends, give each other
Support.
permission and support.
Right, and to say it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be absolutely clean, it doesn't have to be the best dessert ever. You don't have to volunteer for everything that your child wants you to be at or your school wants you to do, you know?
And that's one thing I encourage people to do. If you're going to take something on, what are you going to take off? Don't keep saying yes, yes, yes,
That
yes.
would be me.
Well, women have a hard time saying no, Amy.
Yeah.
We do. Men, if you ask them to do something, they go no. Women, it's like, oh, well, gee, I'm the only one? Okay. I mean, it's ridiculous. Say no. Set limits. And be a little bit selfish with your own time.
And get rid of the energy. You're wearing your pin, the energy suckers, and you have this new book about energy suckers. And the thing I know you're going to say is get rid of those people in your life who are sucking your energy. Spend time around people who give you energy, who build you up, who make you feel better.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. And you know when you're around an energy sucker, because your stomach starts to churn, you don't really want to talk to them.
You leave the conversation feeling not right. Like,
Yeah,
what just
exactly.
happened? Like, you feel like you were hit, but no punches flew. You
Right.
know, you're like, wait a minute.
Right, like when Amy leaves today, I'll be so happy that I saw her. I'll feel like this increased energy. I'll feel kind of uplifted in my day. That's how you know who you
She's an
should
energy
spend time
booster.
with.
Yeah,
Thanks,
she's
right?
an energy booster.
too.
You know how I know if I've got an energy sucker? They're the people that I call when I'm hoping they won't answer.
Exactly. I love that.
I'm
She
so
said that
guilty of
before.
that.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's so
we'll go to
true.
voicemail. Yes,
Exactly.
please.
You can find out more about Barb and her new book, Energy Suckers, How to Deal with Bullies in the Workplace and Elsewhere in Your Life. ThePeoplePro.com is her website. Always a blast to see you. Thank you. And have a
Thanks.
great weekend.